It's fight time. Legacy Boxing Showcase of New Mexico is on. Boxing fans in New Mexico, we're doing it again, making history on the show. My God, what a great show. This show is sponsored by Legacy Promotions and Minuteman Refinishing and Dazzling Displays. What a great weekend of boxing. We had boxing down in Hobbs, New Mexico, and also we had a great amateur show at Ray Zamar's Warrior Boxing. Let me introduce myself. You guys know me. I'm your ringleader. My name is Dennis D.C. Chavez. My partner in crime, Lalo Martinez. You know who that is. And today we have some great guests, man, all the way from deputy inspectors, well-known reporter, Keelan's Corner, Austin in the house. And then we have, for the first time in this show, making history, right? We're going to have UFC MMA fighter, great athlete, Cody East, man. He's going to be bringing it. And what an honor, you know, because he's our first. And so we're going to start the show off. We have, first of all, my partner in crime, Lalo.
How's it going, everybody?
Lalo Martinez. Okay, well, to get things started, the gentleman sitting in the center seat is well known in the boxing world. And what he does is his title is Deputy Inspector. And what they do, we're going to talk about what a Deputy Inspector means, because see, a lot of boxing fans, there's a lot of backstory when the fighters fight and all that. Before that even shows, you got the trainers, you got the fighters, you got guys in the back that do certain things, because you know what? Even though this is a brutal sport, man, we still believe it's got to be safe and regulated, and that's what a deputy inspector does. Let me introduce to you a great man, known him for many years. His dad, a well-known boxing promoter and entrepreneur, been around the block for a long time, and he acclimated his son into the boxing world. I'd like to introduce to you none other Deputy Inspector Ray De La Cruz Jr. How you doing, Ray?
How you doing, DC? Good, yourself?
Good.
Good. How you doing, Lalo?
Glad you're on the show,
yes.
Man.
Yeah.
We're really excited. Every time somebody new comes on the show, we're making history.
Right.
You know, and you're our first Deputy Inspector.
Yeah.
And you know, you're a Deputy Inspector registered with the state and Powaka casinos, and they all follow the same guidelines, correct?
Right.
And that's what you do. And it's just first of all, let's start off with your backstory. Tell us about your backstory.
I first started in the boxing scene with my dad. He was started doing it first, the DI, and then I got in, obviously.
And your father's name?
Ray De La Cruz.
Yeah,
senior. Right. I've been doing it for about 16 years now.
16 years.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you something. You're real good at what you do. You've done the big fights.
Right.
Tell us some of the big fights you've done.
Ended with Johnny Tapia's fights. Been doing Johnny Tapia's fights. Holly Holmes. You know, all the New Mexico fighters. Willie Villanueva, Archie Marquez.
Good fighters, man.
Yes, all those big guys, all those big fighters.
You did a big one with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Yes, and Ray Sanchez also.
Bam! That's bad. You know what? I gotta tell you something. Tell us, explain to the boxing fans of New Mexico that don't know what Deputy Inspector does, because there's a backstory, ladies and gentlemen. Like in the back, all the trainers and fighters go to the back and they get their areas, and what do they do? What do you do? What do they do? Explain the safety issue, everything. What does
the first thing we do is get their bags, make sure we search their bags. Make sure nobody's cheating, has all the right stuff, you know, new Vaselines and stuff like that, and adrenalines, everything's prescribed. You know, you gotta make sure, if you have a prescription, make sure it's prescribed. You know, check all the bags, stuff like that, get them licensed, get everybody's pictures, get everybody going, and then put them in their corners, red and blue corners, get them checked with doctors and stuff, and then wrap them up, make sure their hands are wrapped, get them going. You know, make sure everybody's doing the right thing. No cheating. You mean?
No cheating. That's your main objective. No cheating.
Yeah.
Now, there's no cheating in boxing, no. But you know, in reality, people try to cheat, man.
Right.
You know, so you're trained to about Vaselines, about certain medications, the secrets of the trade, how they sneak in things
Right.
or whatever they try to do. They have to wear a mouthpiece cup
Yeah.
and wraps. Would you tell us about the wraps and how they do it, the distance? Because a lot of people don't know. Some think that they just put on gloves, but they actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gauze it up. First gauze, gauze and tape. So it's always a finger length of tape back from the knuckles.
Oh, okay.
If there's tape over the knuckles, it's illegal. You have to take it
Wow.
off and rewrap, and or they could stuff some extra gauze in the inside, or throw something in there that's not supposed to be in there.
Man, that's interesting.
So that's what we're there for, is to watch and inspect and make sure everything goes well with the fights.
Okay, that's it.
I mean, it's pretty. We're the guys in the back.
Okay, do you have the authority to shut down the fight?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I do.
Man, that's.
How many fights have you had to shut down? You don't have to say which fights, but
I've shut down probably like about 3 total. Not too many.
in your 16
Yeah, in
years?
my whole 16 years
Wow.
of career, I caught a few people trying to cheat and stuff.
And so again, of course you don't want to say any names, but what's one of the craziest things you've seen?
Oh, in the background and
the
stuff.
background, yeah.
I've seen this guy. He was in Las Vegas, New Mexico. He had wrapped his hands, and he had after he wrapped, he had put it in water, and he was soaking it for like make a cast, ceramic, and we told him we couldn't do that, and he was fighting with us, like as far as saying he could. He'd done it before in other states, and they don't do that. You can't do that in other states.
He's trying to lie.
Yeah, so we told him, take it off or you don't fight. And we had an argument till pretty much he was gonna get in the ring, and he ended up taking it off.
Rewrapped?
Yeah, rewrapped it and done, and then after that they do all their suspensions and do whatever they got to do.
That's a good question about that,
And I know there's a famous the most recent time that has happened actually with Antonio Margarito and
Yes.
Miguel Cotto, where he used
Did they? With Cotto?
with Cotto, yeah, he used
man.
some
Plastic?
Ceramic,
plastic
yeah.
cement, some ceramic cement or some kind of cement.
Is that the new techniques? Is that the way they try to slide it in?
That could be a way.
They don't
Even
they don't put a horseshoe. Like back in the old days, they put a big old horseshoe iron.
hey, some
You
pennies.
guys are too young. But remember the horseshoes?
People, they've used many stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
tape. You can harden tape, put extra tape. That'll hurt. That'll mess up a fighter. I can just imagine plaster.
Oh yeah, that's
Plaster will, hurt somebody big time.
And you check the wraps after the fight too, because they
yeah.
can. I mean, you can't be on them all the time. So you check the wraps after after the fight.
We check them after, a winner and loser, and make sure the doctors see these fighters after and make sure they're okay and till they're good to go, after.
Okay. Now you've inspected. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're walking in. What do you do? Why do you do that? And you walk them all the way to the corner, and you're there. You're there every round.
Every round.
What are you looking for?
In the corner, we're looking for like the guys not to tap on the rings, or the people, just people trying to come in the ring, even, make sure like whenever they're inside the ring, that inside their buckets they have the right stuff. They're not giving, extra stuff that we didn't see, or Gatorades or anything else.
Right.
You know what I mean? And make sure the floor's wet so these fighters don't slide, and make sure everything's safe in that corner, and make sure my fighter is safe always.
That's a lot of responsibility. First round's done. Goes and sits down. You get up there. They're always right there. You're like hawks, man. They're just
I've seen them, yeah.
Huh. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're watching their hands, watching every movement.
Yeah.
Now, trainers in the past have pulled some shady stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And cornermen. But is that a lot today? Do they do that a lot today? Or is it so, we got to stop being like that, in boxing. Yeah. It's changed a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Now they kind of, excuse me, they kind of respect us more now. we don't have too much problems, you know, in the ring. So
In New Mexico.
in New Mexico, but there's always something you got to watch out for.
Is that right? Wow, you know, what a fascinating job. Let me ask you, are they recruiting? Are they looking for deputies, or how do you get in the game?
It's kind of know somebody, and you know, just kind of know somebody pretty much or call the commission.
Call the commission.
Call the New Mexico State Athletic Commission or the Powhatan and see if they're hiring and stuff like that.
Boxing fans in Mexico, one thing about this great deputy inspector, he also, boom, decided to get in the ring and spar and do all that, and he loves it. And it's rare that you get a guy that's been in the gym that wants to be a deputy inspector, so he actually knows the leverage of the game. You know, you learn from taking a shot. You know, and you've done that, man.
Right.
You know, I've seen, and you love working with kids, don't you?
Oh yeah, yes. We train kids at Perez Gym also, and you know, work with them. And they just had the amateur fights this weekend that we.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that too.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
You know what? We didn't have time to talk about the fights this weekend.
No, that's
You
fine.
were there with your father.
Yeah.
A great crowd. He did a great job
Great job.
officiating, all that. I was the ring announcer. We tore it up. I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, guys.
You're making history, man. You know, that's cool. Will you come back?
Thank you for inviting. Yes, sir.
We'll
Yes.
talk about boxing?
Yes, sir.
All
No, I
right, all
appreciate
right.
it.
Listen, that was round one. Boom. Round two coming up. Thank you.
Medina from the volleyball line, yes. Cormier will attack the rim, get fouled again, scoops and scores. Oh, beautiful pass inside. Layup is up and good. Outside Rogers. Nice pass inside. Ball is blocked by Washeka, rejected again by Washeka.
Not good. Keep looking, keep looking.
Cormier will
There's a foul.
power up
Wow,
and
look
score.
at that.
Foul by Mark. That's a hold there on one. They didn't
Oh,
see
nice
it.
job.
Beautiful pass to Cormier,
Oh,
who
geez,
clutches
great.
the two-hand hammer.
He had an opening.
Hill will drive to the
Nice
basket
pass.
inside to
There it is
Cormier.
again.
Another two-hand hammer.
Nice. And we're like, whatever. He made 80%.
Here comes Weaver, and he throws it down with emphasis, no doubt about it.
Now there's an easier way to find deals at great New Mexico restaurants. DineNM.com. Just use your smartphone. Go to the site, download the app. No purchase or printer necessary. DineNM.com. The easiest way to save money when dining out.
Ladera Golf Course on Albuquerque's west side features spacious greens, 27 holes with outstanding practice facilities, and beautiful views of the Sandia Mountains, nestled at the foot of the volcanoes. Our 300-person banquet room and bridal suite is perfect for all occasions. Customize your room with color, chair covers, table linen, dinner, and champagne. Visit our cafe and bar with daily specials and happy hour, plus our full-service golf pro shop. For tea times and more information, call 505-836-4449.
Boxing fans in New Mexico, this is round two. We're going to continue talking about boxing, about the amateur show that happened this weekend. And Chris,
Ray De La Cruz.
Ray De La-
Ray, you were there. DC, we were all there, and it was a great show. So we're going to talk about the show and just boxing in general.
Very cool, very cool. I got to tell you something. I was the ring announcer, and Lalo Martinez, his crew ran all the judges, the officiates. He's head of officiates. What a great show, man. Tell me, seriously.
We had
24 fights.
24 fights. 24 great fights. One of them, you know, amateur boxing is very somewhat similar to pro boxing. We have to we have to check the wraps. We have to do all that stuff. And these kids just came in Saturday night and just brought it. It was an awesome show. And you were there.
Yeah.
And you saw there was you know, there was one kid that got knocked out, and fortunately he's okay.
Right. Yes.
Good.
But it is a amateur boxing is also it's a tough sport.
Very dangerous.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
And the new generations of boxers, they don't box all like this. Like I said in some of my shows, they bring that swag, and they want the wins, and they want to get up there in rankings, and it's tremendous, man.
I thought that was a good show. After all. It was a good
Ray
turnout.
Zamора's Warriors and San Mateo and Gibson, close to 300 people in that building.
Wow.
And it was packed.
It was.
And the fights were. Tell me, what fights did you like to see?
I liked all of them, actually. They were all good. I mean, I usually stay for half the show, you know?
Yeah.
And I stayed for the whole fight. I liked the whole, they were actually amazing. They were tracting, they were good. Everybody's getting bleeding cuts, and it was good. It was good, you know?
Well, it's a brutal sport.
Yeah.
But because you're in the safety game and you're in the safety game, we watch it, you know, and man, the Hammer, Abraham Perez.
Wow, yeah.
Good fighter, man, you know? And the heavyweights, when that kid got dropped and he got put on the board, the EMTs took him out. Everybody gave him a round of applause, and I told him, you know, say something real quick and you're under your breath of prayer or something. Then we got the call later on. He's okay. The crowd cheered, huh?
That was great. That was good fights. It was,
you know,
it was
the
a good
boxing
turnout.
family's cool, don't you think, you guys?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and then we had the main event with no headgear. So these amateurs are experienced. They're older than 17, so they have the option of fighting now under the new rules. They have the option of fighting without headgear, and they went ahead and fought without headgear.
Yeah, that was nice.
That's amazing. I never seen that before.
Yeah, it changed. He
I
told me
guess-
it changed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When did that change?
Just recently, before the end of the year.
Oh, really?
USA Boxing.
That's awesome. So they man up.
Yeah.
Because they say that the headgear blocks the peripheral vision, and a lot of fighters told me that you can't see Jack coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the other thing is with that the headgear, the head becomes a target if you have headgear on.
Yes.
So without the headgear, sometimes it's more safe because you don't get hit to the head as much because it's not a target anymore.
You can
I
actually
see.
move.
It's hard to get to now.
It's hard to get to.
You
Yeah.
can actually
move it.
move a
Harder to
little
get to
more.
that
It's
too,
not
yeah.
so thick, you know. And
Man, that's
Yeah.
okay. Okay, you guys, check this out. Okay, we got a show April 1st, man, and we got a guest coming on. It's gonna be on the show, heavyweight, great fighter. We're not gonna tell you yet. You gotta hang through the show, but this card is stacked, man, like a good deck of cards, man. You're gonna get kings every time you get dealt, man. Every weight division, every up and coming. They're all champions in their own right, man. Right, and we got, pardon me, just host, you know, Fidel Maldonado.
Fidel Maldonado. We got who do we got? Christian Castillo, who was
A beast, yes.
a beast.
Christian Carball.
Christian
right?
Carball, yeah.
Great fighter.
Overall, yeah.
Who's he
Joaquin.
fighting?
Oh, I don't know, man. But when we get the lineup, I want both fighters here at the desk that they're
That'd be
fighting.
good.
That's going to be cool, man.
And so you're going to be there.
Yeah.
He'll be
yeah,
working
I'll be
it.
there.
You'll be working it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as the professional fight, since I didn't get to ask you this before, but what's the biggest fight you've got to work?
The biggest fight was Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Ray Sanchez. That was one of them, but I've also had many with Showtime and, you know,
Here in Albuquerque?
yeah, GSP Productions.
We've
Yeah,
never done,
Tecate.
he does some big fights.
Yeah, and that Showtime here and, you know, stuff like that. There's some pretty good promotions so far, but Showtime hasn't been here in a while. We missed them, so
You're a
we
big
need to bring
fan
them back.
of
you know.
Vegas boxing, but compare Vegas boxing to New Mexico. We got good fighters, huh?
Hey, we're pretty close.
Bam! He said it, man. Right?
Yeah, we're pretty close. man.
We're knocking on the door of championships.
Yeah, it's
Right?
It's,
You
it's,
can
we're
see
getting
it,
up there.
right?
Yeah.
Even in the amateurs, man.
Even the amateurs, yeah.
We got them in Bulgaria, across the world.
Bulgaria. We
Olympic Village.
have two of our amateur females training at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, we have some great fighters here in New Mexico coming up in the amateurs and going on to the pros, hopefully.
Yeah, it's just.
And these pros nowadays are, they're just as good as the ones back then when I used to work. You know what I mean? It's even better actually.
And why is that?
Fidel, and I mean, just as far as more people are into it, and the crowds are bigger and
That's right.
nicer places and good
Yes.
venues and
Yes, nice
different
places,
fighters
yes.
are coming up, and
It's the show, man.
Yeah, you don't know who's coming in from other towns
Pardon me.
coming to bring it. So we're here to
Out of state.
hopefully represent. Big time.
I always say we got boxing fans in New Mexico got the toughest fighters. Bring it if you don't believe it. That's why we got world champions. Austin Trout, Johnny T, Danny Romero, Bobby
Speaking of,
Foster, Holly Holmes, Monica Lovato. God, there's so many fighters out there. Champions, man. Champions,
Speaking of Austin Trout, he has he's sponsoring an amateur boxing show in 2 weeks in Las Cruces.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's what I heard.
That's cool.
I've seen that.
I did his first one.
So the pros who make it big, they come back and just like Johnny used to.
He set that mark, huh?
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah, big time.
We had Hector Munoz, the Hurricane here, and I call him the ambassador to boxing because everywhere he goes to the big shows, training and all that, Broner and Garcia and all that, he's always wearing his 505 gear, man, representing, and they love him for it, right, Lalo?
Yeah.
And he don't speak, and he's a great fighter, gonna be on the card. This is like the best card right now in 2017. Yeah, serious. It's good.
Yeah, there are some good fights coming up now. The ones even in Powaka are actually still connected here. They're
Yes.
actually pretty good. It's kind of the same fighters, but
Yeah, they're changed up.
yeah,
I was going to tell you something about. We had a fight down in Hobbs this weekend. Pro fight, the Cedro Castillo and those people. The Castillo Promotions through that. Austin Keelan's coming on board. He's going to talk about that.
We'll be talking about that later.
Yeah, as a matter of fact,
In
in
the
the
show.
next segment, you and him are going to have a roundabout talk about stuff, and I think that's very, very cool.
And then we just got to mention again the national national qualifier that's coming into Albuquerque
Did you hear about that?
March 19th through the 25th.
Tell him, man. Tell him.
It's a Western qualifier for the Olympics. So we're going to have about 500 or 600 athletes here in Albuquerque at the convention center.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Fighting for 5 days straight.
At the
2 days,
convention center.
2 days.
They bring their
2 times a day.
trainers. They bring their
So is it New
corners.
Mexico against?
It's going to be the world of
Everybody.
the United States.
Oh, that's going to be a good
Right?
show.
They're all coming down here, right?
That's
That's a
gonna be
All
show.
the Western-
You got
all
to
the
see it,
Western
you
US.
guys.
That's all amateurs, right? Or
All amateurs,
you wouldn't say
yeah.
boxing.
And then
that's
you'll
gonna
see
be
the
good show.
top ones that are at the cusp of being in the Olympics. You'll see the ones about to turn pro, or surprises. Because in boxing, man, you don't know what you're going to get when you step in that ring.
Right.
You don't know. I've seen guys out of shape get beat up and then boom, dropped. I've seen,
Takes one punch.
takes one punch. Yeah, Well, that was a great round talking about boxing, you guys. Just like we're at the couch having a few beers, talking about boxing. I want to thank you once again, Ray De La Cruz Jr., for
Thank you,
coming
guys.
on the show.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for the talk.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, that was round 2. Round 3 coming up.
Altitude Sports Grill is where Albuquerque's sports fans won't miss a game. With locally crafted brews on tap and refreshingly crisp cocktails. Located in Hotel Cascada, Albuquerque residents find a staycation worth staying for. Catching Lobo sports, enjoying a beer on the beach, or wiping out, Hotel Cascada is home to your urban adventure. Affordable guest rooms, no-hassle water park parties, and much more.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Boxing fans in New Mexico, this is round 3. And next to me, I got Austin Killeen.
How do you do?
Thanks for coming. Austin's here. He's going to talk to us about what happened on Friday in Hobbs with the card, and some of the upcoming professional cards that'll be coming up here in a couple of months. Austin has a website, Kyleen'sCorner.com. He covers all of New Mexico, and check out his website. He has some great stuff on there. And so we're going to talk to him about this weekend's card and upcoming cards. So tell us a little bit about Friday's card. It was in Hobbs, New Mexico. Isidro Castillo was a promoter, and he had a 4-bout card. And I did look. I checked out your website, read some of the stuff, and I have it right here. The main event was Gerardo Quintana versus Cesar Samaripa from El Paso, but originally from
Juarez, but I couldn't verify it, so I didn't say it.
And that was the main event, and it went all 4 rounds, was it?
Well, the thing that was amazing, the whole card looked like, using my expression, crap on paper. It looked like a total disaster. But if you'll notice my introductory, I remembered a fight card 50 years ago that I went to that looked horrible in Worcester, Mass. And it surprised me because they put a fighter who had never fought in a main event, and the card turned out to be exciting. Well, the same thing happened. Quintana fought a fighter who had never been in a boxing ring, and it was one of the candidates for Fight of the Year. It's only February, but he could, our next guest, Cody East, could explain this probably better than me. It's very hard for a cage fighter to transition into the boxing ring with their footwork. Their hands are obviously good.
Yeah.
And this guy lost no power. I've never seen a cage fighter bring his punch to a ring any better than this guy. And it's a good thing Quintana has a chin. It was a majority decision, and they just went at it for 4 rounds. They could have easily fought 8. They were in great shape. Both fighters had tight defenses. They spent the whole 4 rounds trying to break each other down, and neither one could.
And these were
light heavyweights.
Light heavyweights, so 175 pounds.
Yeah, there's some talk that they were going to bring Geraldo up to fight. Well, first they were saying Joaquin Zamora or the Irish kid McLean. And I think it would be ridiculous because he's too heavy for Joaquin, and McLean just isn't ready for him. So it would be a bad fight.
So this is Quintana's one of our
he's
one of our best fighters in that weight. And then in the semi main event, we had Isidro's oldest son, right?
Right.
Isidro Jr., and he fought a guy who you were telling us earlier had a one day notice to fight,
Well, he's from Albuquerque. What's his name?
Ryan Caldwell.
Well, after the fight was over, Isidro did something I thought was really classy. He asked for the microphone, but instead of talking about himself, he said, "My opponent took this fight in 1 day's notice, and he came out after me at the bell." And I think we all owe him a big round of applause. And I thought that was, and then the other kid felt a little better because he obviously got knocked out and he felt bad.
Because that fight lasted about a
Minute and 35
seconds.
seconds. Because Ray Chavez stayed at my house, the referee from California.
Yeah.
And I got everybody busted him. That was the only fight he did. And I said, Ray, you must be exhausted. A minute and 35 seconds. Oh my God. And he's so sick of everybody hitting on him. But that's all he did. He flew in from California to work a minute.
Yeah, and
well, he didn't work that night. He went to Ray Zamora's fights.
Yeah, luckily he contacted me, and since Ray is he's a registered amateur referee, he was able to work about 8 fights that night. So
I like the way he refs. Chris Bean from Las Vegas, a Tootie.
Yeah.
He kind of stretches the Marcus of Queensberry rules. That's a polite way of saying. And Ray refereed him, and one of Chris Bean's things is to grab you and bang with the free hand. So what he does, he doesn't say, he just slaps his glove out of the way. But you're not going to hurt a fighter hitting the fat of the glove.
Yeah.
And it's just a simple move, but it, you know, and I'm not trying to pick on Chris Bean. He's a very likable person.
Yeah.
If you hit him over the head with a stool, he wouldn't even say anything.
Yeah.
He's just a tough guy. I wouldn't want to meet him in an alley. In fact, he's really tough.
Yeah, he is. And the fight before that was Desmond Hill of Odessa, Texas, versus Joe Reyes of El Paso, Texas, and that also ended up in a knockout.
That was an interesting fight. Desmond from Texas.
Texas.
Yeah. He had superior skills. They said he had fought before, but I couldn't find any material. So as far as I'm concerned, they were both debuting fighters. And he was just superior to the other fighter who fought his heart out. Matter of fact, he probably would have won his debut fight probably 75% of the time, but this guy was just too strong for him. And he broke him down. Each round got worse, and then he knocked him out. But the first fight was a shocker.
And the last fight, or actually the first fight of the night, was Richard Rico Urquizo from Clovis versus Jordan Gregory of Albuquerque, and their records aren't stellar, you know. But it sounds like it was a good fight. I wasn't there, but
first of all, Jordan has no background in boxing, and every time I've seen him, he's just been an arm puncher. So I didn't expect much out of him. Rico, I first saw him fight back in 212, and I thought he had a great future. But then he stopped training, but he didn't stop taking fights. So he looked terrible. So they got into the ring, and I thought, this is going to be terrible. Well, Jordan Gregory is trained by Ray Zamora.
Okay.
He improved so much since his fight with McLean about 4 weeks ago. And Rico, the 2012 version, showed up in shape. And what a classy fight they put on, way above their skills.
way above their
and
records.
The fans love there was very little clinching, lots of punching. Rico had, I thought, the lead going into the fourth, and Gregory just sucked it up and just out-punched him. And I thought the draw was a good call.
So you agreed with the majority of the decisions?
Yeah, I had, there was no, the last fight, the majority decision, the main event, when you got when every round is contested, depending on which side of the ring you're sitting on can affect your view of that round. So in defense, like I agree with Esther Lopez in both, her scoring of both fights. Mm-hmm. I had it a draw. The main event.
And you're sitting there ringside. You're keeping score. So
right. I have to score as accurately as the judges because I have to go home now and write my story based on my notes. And if I'm off kilter, then I'm going to have terrible articles. Maybe people think they are anyways. I don't know. Yeah. They do cure insomnia. So if people read them, they say they never get a better night's sleep than that night.
And does Isidro have any cards coming up? I know we have Perez has a card coming up April 1st. And any other cards planned?
Well, I know Isidro, he announced this last November. He's got a fight card in Roswell. Now, he had a fight card in Roswell in 212. And the Roswell fighters, they never showed up at the press conferences. So Isidro, lost money on that card. If the hometown fighters aren't trying to sell themselves, that's terrible. And I know he wants to promote in Hobbs again.
Okay.
But because of all the interruptions and cancellations of fighters, he told me he didn't even.
So no plans yet, but.
Oh,
but
he's planning. He's going to have more cards for
more
sure.
Cards. I mean, yeah, it was. It sounds like it was a great card.
It was shocking. It didn't even make sense. It was, like I say, I compared it to a fight I saw 50 years ago, which made me feel old because I had remembered going into Mechanics Hall, and then the fights were fabulous, and that's what happened Friday night.
Yeah. Well, we got round 4 coming up, and you're going to be talking to our next guest, you and DC. So, round 4 coming up, fans. Stay tuned.
Sinners and Saints, a proud sponsor of Proview Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. Start your evening off right with a delicious menu selection like the Sinners Smothered Fries with pulled pork and green chili. Always prepared with fresh, never frozen ingredient. Catch all the sports action from college, pros, and MMA on one of our 35 HD TVs. Sinners and Saints, the friendliest sports bar in Albuquerque.
Altitude Sports Grill is where Albuquerque's sports fans won't miss a game. With locally crafted brews on tap and refreshingly crisp cocktails. Located in Hotel Cascada, Albuquerque residents find a staycation worth staying for. Catching Lobo sports, enjoying a beer on the beach, or wiping out, Hotel Cascada is home to your urban adventure. Affordable guest rooms, no-hassle water park parties, and much more.
Now there's an easier way to find deals at great New Mexico restaurants. DineNM.com. Just use your smartphone. Go to the site, download the app. No purchase or printer necessary. DineNM.com. The easiest way to save money when dining out.
Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but 2 great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's, off Academy and in Nob Hill.
Gonstead Physical Medicine are healthcare professionals that create custom treatment plans for those diagnosed with spinal ligament injuries. We use chiropractic systems to ensure the best patient outcomes, functional rehab exercises designed to improve the quality of daily activities, trigger point injections that help alleviate pain and spasms, non-surgical spinal decompression to minimize any disc bulges, and massage therapy for painful conditions and relaxation.
Does your provider have the therapies to address your problem? We do.
Contact us for a complimentary consultation.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. So maintaining this old car is your best option. Keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Bam! This is round 4. Wow, we got a great athlete at the sports desk today. I have Austin Keeling. He has Keeling's Corner website. Great sports writer. He's a guest of ours that comes here once a month and talks about boxing. He's very knowledgeable. And in the center of the sports desk, making history, very cool, for the first time at our desk, UFC MMA fighter, great guy. I've met him a couple of times, and he just has a great backstory to talk about. It's an honor to introduce from the Double L, Las Lunas, New Mexico, Cody, the freight train East. How are you?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Austin, thank you for showing up.
I'm shocked. What's with the shades?
What?
Are you hiding a black eye? What's with the shades?
No. As a matter of fact, we got a bright star on deck, so I had to wear the shades. Thank you. No black eye. Hey, great to have you on the show. Is this cool?
Yeah, heck.
Yeah, well, you know what? Okay, let me give you some boxing fans some information about the freight train, okay? He's going to be on our card April 1st at Expo Explosion. It's a great card, 11 of the best fighters, heavyweight division, 6'3", about 245?
It's 250, 260.
Damn! He's from the Double L Las Lunas. Great athletes come out of there, you know. He's an MMA fighter, and he's crossing over to boxing, and that's just cool, man. That's just guts. You know, in Spanish, it's huevos. You know what I mean? You understand because you're from Las Lunas. You know what I'm saying, Austin.
I'm Gaelic.
I said it, don't edit. Okay, so check this out. You're what you're doing is just, why?
I mean, people, like you said, people think I'm an athlete. They introduce me as an athlete. I'm not an athlete right now. I'm a boxer. I'm training to be a boxer.
Damn, are you serious?
I'm not just an athlete. I can box. I mean, I've been working on that. I've gotten far in my career relying on me just being athletic, strong, hitting hard, and being tough. Now I'm focused on really learning how to box. And, I mean, I'm going to put those skills to the test on April 1st.
So you're striking, you know, bam, 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 and, you know, you got the three-dimensional kickboxing, elbows, all that. But then you switch to boxing, and you contain it. How do you contain that? How do you focus on that, you know? You got a cat coming at you, and, you know...
Yeah, but I got someone coming at me throwing 2 things at me when I'm used to 8 things coming at me.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like fights are going to be like in slow motion to me.
Is that right?
This is the way I look at it. I mean, if you knew I was going to punch you, it'd be easy to block it, right?
Yeah.
What if I was going to kick you or punch you?
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to pull out.
Happen. Only thing you can do is punch me. Probably hold me once I punch him. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Austin, I just got some questions. You got the technical questions because I know you know this cat inside out, man, you know. What do you like better?
I like both. I mean, I respect both, and they're just different worlds, really. I mean, I like to fight, really. Right now, I'm focused on boxing, so right now I'm going to go with boxing. I mean, at this moment, I'm not thinking about MMA. I'm going towards boxing.
Who's your trainer?
Andrew.
Andrew?
I don't know his last name.
Oh, Rivera!
Rivera. I just call him Coach.
Oh, Coach. He's right there.
I call him Coach.
Well, he's having a hard life tonight, you know. I got to tell you something. What's your backstory in regards to athleticism and the Double L in Las Lunas?
So, I was a 2-time state champ for Las Lunas, 05 and 06.
In what?
Wrestling.
Bam!
Yeah, and then I went to a wrestling tournament when I was 18, and some guys asked me, told me there was a fight that weekend, an MMA fight, and asked me if I wanted to fight, and I said, I seen it on TV, like, I could do it.
Cage fighting?
Yeah, cage fight. I never trained or nothing. It was like a Tuesday, and someone pulled out that next Friday, and they asked me if I wanted to fight, and I took the fight.
You stepped in?
Yeah, I stepped in. I was 18. Dude was like 28. I choked him out. I looked up some videos on YouTube, seen how I choked somebody.
Serious?
Yeah.
And you applied it?
I applied it.
You didn't hit him with the computer that you're watching on?
No,
you did
no.
Hey, come on, give me some, man. That was bad to do that. You know, Austin, you're in the fighting game. You know the heart of a fighter, right? And for a young cat like this, just to switch gears, you know, to step in, that reminds me like when Reina de la Guerra fought Holly Holmes out of the stands. She took the fight. You took the fight, man, and you took it to them.
Yeah.
You know, that takes a lot of courage, you know. So, you excited about April 1st?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm training, working. You know what I mean? I'm not taking those last-second fights no more. I've never really had a camp and focused on an opponent and worked on the game plan. And now I'm doing that, and I feel the difference in my training.
And is it different from MMA?
Yeah, it's different. I mean, but I love it. Is
the regime different?
Yeah, I'm a lot of hands. You know?
A lot of hands, upper body. Check it out.
Working on my biggest transition is the feet, placement of the feet, because I'm in the MMA, you set up and throw kicks and stuff.
That's what you said earlier.
You mean so it being the right position to throw power in your hands, not end up throwing arm punches. Like a lot of MMA guys end up throwing nothing but arm punches. So I'm learning to sit on those punches and use my hips and put people to sleep.
Oh my God! You know what? Recently, I criticized you, and it was negative criticism, and it was a bad call all the way around, Cody. You know what I mean? I got criticized for that, and you know what? I just gotta say, now that I've seen you representing the boxing game, showing up at his gym, talking to you, meeting you, seeing you drop weight and in shape, I just think that you got a great shot at doing what you do, and I think you're gonna go far, man. I'm telling you the truth. Yeah. I mean that.
It's gonna be a good fight. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. A lot of people. Yeah, I'm fighting the guys had a lot of experience.
Yeah, seasoned.
A seasoned guy. I've only had 3 boxing matches. You know what I mean?
But you're gonna do it. Wait, what? You know, some people you don't go hit your boss. You know, he's got leverage over you. This guy has experience, but you got the huevos. I said it. Don't edit. Right?
I mean, I'm not scared to fight. But I'm training for it.
You fear no man.
I fear nobody, but I'm not fighting dumb like that, taking fights last second. I'm training for this guy. I'm working the box. I'm not coming there out an MMA guy relying on my toughness. I'm gonna go out. I can go out there and outbox a boxer. I mean, that's gonna really make a statement.
You want to do that?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Man, throw those combinations, sidestep, and bang.
That's it.
You know what? Now the hard questions.
Well, I have to say I was wrong. I talked to Aaron Perez last week, and I told him they could introduce Cody East as Rembrandt because he was going to be spending a lot of time on the canvas.
Oh, no, that's cold.
And I came in here tonight, and I couldn't believe how rock hard his body is.
That's cool, man.
I'm very friendly with both Cena and Ronnie Baca. But I have to say, if it was a bodybuilding contest, he'd come out on top right now. So I have a different opinion about him. He's taking this seriously.
Yeah, that's
because when you get your body as hard as he is, he's got to be training.
That's great. Great observation, man. Man, you're getting all these kudos just sitting at the chair, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not saying much with the bodybuilding because Ronnie'd come in 4th place out of everybody at the table. So it's not taking much to beat him in the way it looks.
You know, I used to be a Chippendale, now I'm a Clydesdale. Whatever that, come on, man.
Go. But yeah, I'm training.
I'm getting in shape.
I'm taking it serious, I mean, and like you said, you think MMA has a harder cardio, but boxing it's different. It wears on you, and I'm understanding that and staying in shape, a lot of movement, and the guys on boxing are going to be tough guys.
Your record's 12-3, man. That's a good record in MMA.
Yeah, 12-3.
And you're UFC. You're not no paper champion. Some guys, I do this. Now you're really UFC. You're UFC credential grade. You know what I mean?
I was legacy heavyweight champ, King of Cage heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
Went 5 years without losing.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you're the real deal. But he's crossing over, man.
Well, I made it to the pinnacle of MMA. I didn't live it to my full potential in UFC, but I believe I can do the same thing in boxing. I made it to the top in MMA. I can do the same in boxing.
What kind of chili are they feeding down there Las Lunas, in Bosque Farms, man? You got some tough people coming out of there.
Yeah, it's working, I mean. Work.
It's just that work ethic, no?
Yes, sir.
I just think that it's going to be an honor to call you out. Because I'm the ring announcer, I'll be calling you out, and I guarantee you by the time you walk out, that crowd's going to be bumping, man. And, there's going to be so many people there. It's going to be on Proview TV. We're going to record the fight. Is that cool? He's going to be a reporter. Lalo's going to be a reporter.
No, Lala and me, we're doing ringside.
Oh, yeah, ringside. Yes, correct. Yes.
David Finger, the county judge, is going to write the story and drop it in my column for me.
Nice.
And I have a photographer who will be Rocky Burke's girlfriend.
Oh,
She's
great.
So cards for me already.
The boxing family has all these connections. I think it's cool. It's going to be exciting. Any predictions?
I mean, I predict I'm going to finish the fight. You mean?
You get the W?
I'm going to get the W. I'm not going to just get the W. I'm going to finish it. You mean?
Yeah, that's a goal too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be the first round or 6th round, but I don't see it going the distance. I'm going there to finish him, but I'm going to take my time and pick my shots.
How do you control that adrenaline? Because we had Ray De La Cruz Jr. earlier, and he's learning the game, and I see a lot of fighters man, they just rush in and they just want to.
Well,
how do you control that chaos?
I never did control it until recently. I've worked on harnessing that aggression. I've kind of just went in there, and I'm strong, I'm fast, I'm athletic, and I would just overwhelm people. But then you would come with people that have skills that can overcome that, and they start picking you apart. So now I've worked on putting my skills and my natural talents with the skills I'm learning from my coaches. So it's going to be a combination, you know what I mean? And
like a combination play?
That's it. I'm going to be serving it up. That's it. Yes, sir.
What's up?
Well, no, it's obvious he has a career as a comedian when he retires here. He's going to be working a room in Vegas. But adrenaline will only carry you for maybe a minute.
Is that right?
Yeah, you just first couple of punches, then that's what you got. That's
It's just like you see a street fight. Guys fight for 30 seconds, they're both gassed out. You can't fight like that.
Yeah, a lot of guys fight like that, but to stretch it out and stamina and breathing, and it takes a lot of that's why I love the art of boxing. Boxing fans in Mexico, you gotta understand something. You gotta see the artistry in boxing. Just the movement, the whole concept. Like in my introduction, since the dawn of man, it's always been hand to hand, and it's just remarkable that we have such great, courageous combat sports fighters in New Mexico. Bar none, we got the toughest in the world. If you don't believe it, bring it. I always say that about New Mexico fighters. Combat sports, MMA, and jiu-jitsu, but boxing, of course. But there's something about New Mexico, man. I'm so proud. To be in this game and meet people like this, and his trainer Andrew Rivera and Ray De La Cruz and Lalo and everybody that's been at this desk. You're making history. You're our first UFC fighter.
Yes,
you know what I mean? That's cool. Any closing statements you'd like to make?
Well, just something we talked about earlier. I felt very bad for this Ryan Cowell who got knocked out in the first round the other night. And I'm sure Cody would agree with me. It takes a lot of guts to get in there and 24-hour notice. And if that kid's watching, I don't want him to be ashamed. He has nothing to be ashamed of.
I think that, I always say this. Some will go on to be kings in this sport, but it takes the heart of a king to get in that ring. Right?
Yes, sir.
You're not a loser when you walk in that ring.
Right. Well, Cody will tell you, no one ever tried to take his place when he was walking the 3 steps. And no one tried to take that kid's place, so he had a lot of heart.
Well, it's a team sport with trainers and all that. But then I was talking to some people at the boxing show the other night, but yet you go in the ring and guess what? You're by yourself, and that's where you man up or man down.
Well, you wish you were by yourself when the other guy's rapping you.
Right?
Yes, sir.
You like to hit people?
I love it.
Smack them? I wish I could hit people, but I can't. I held back, because, I'm too old to be in jail. But the thing is I just got to tell you, we're going to wrap it up. Want to thank you, Cody East. We'll see you April 1st. We'll see you at the press conference. We'll see a lot of you. And thank you for being.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
On
Cody, you changed my mind.
Legacy Boxing Showcase of New Mexico. First UFC fighter on the desk. We're coming back, closing the show. Thank you.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Sinners and Saints, a proud sponsor of Proview Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. Start your evening off right with a delicious menu selection like the Sinners Smothered Fries with pulled pork and green chili. Always prepared with fresh, never frozen ingredients. Catch all the sports action from college, pros, and MMA on one of our 35 HD TVs. Sinners and Saints, the friendliest sports bar in Albuquerque. The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Ladera Golf Course on Albuquerque's west side features spacious greens, 27 holes with outstanding practice facilities, and beautiful views of the Sandia Mountains, nestled at the foot of the volcanoes. Our 300-person banquet room and bridal suite is perfect for all occasions. Customize your room with color, chair covers, table linen, dinner, and champagne. Visit our cafe and bar with daily specials and happy hour, plus our full-service golf pro shop. For tee times and more information, call 505-836-4449.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Wow, what a great show tonight. We had Deputy Inspectors Ray Dela Cruz Jr. on the show giving information on what happens behind the scenes. We had our first UFC fighter crossing over to the ring April 1st at Expo Explosion at the Lujan building. We had Austin Keeling, great sports writer, photographer. He goes around the state covering. My partner in crime, Lalo Martinez. Was this a great show or what?
It was a great show. I mean, you know, we got you guys got to talk to Cody East. You know, he told you he's gonna bring it. He's gonna bring it.
He didn't deny nothing. He said.
And he I don't know if you forgot to mention a little bit about the social media war that he's been having with his opponent. Who's
real quick. What's that about?
And you know, so we got to talk about a little bit about that. Just you know, he had his opponent changed a couple of times.
Okay. But he's good with that.
But he's good. But he has an opponent now. But the other guy who wanted to fight him they're having this social media
Talking
war.
smack?
But you know, it's all smack. But it's all talking smack. But you know, Cody's gonna, you know, he has a fight. That's you know, I'm assuming that's what he's concentrating on. He doesn't care about social media and what's going on there. But it's great. I mean, it's just.
He's so gracious, man. When we talked about stuff like that, I was the jerk, you know. But I learned my lesson tonight. But you know what? Any closing thoughts, Austin?
Well, I thought rounds 3 and 4 were exceptionally good.
Oh yeah, because you were on them. Listen, what a great show, you guys. Thank you again, partner in crime. Thank you, our correspondent once a month, talking boxing in New Mexico. This is a great show, man. You know, we're not professionals. We're trying our best to give information out there. Boxing fans in New Mexico, I got to tell you something. This is awesome. We got so many great people coming on the show lined up. We got so many people want to be on the show. We really want to thank Cody East from the Double L, Las Lunas, New Mexico. Well-known UFC fighter, crossing over. All you UFC fans, bring it. He's going to be in the square circle. He's going to be reigning pain. And we just want to say my last final words, gentlemen. You know the words. You know what, boxing fans in New Mexico, keep your chin down and keep on swinging. We'll catch you next time.